Hello, welcome to Sawbill Lake. I just checked in, got my permit for tomorrow morning. It's September 14th today, and I'll be entering the boundary waters. Beautiful weather so far. We're looking at a little bit of rain maybe later on. I'll tell you all about this adventurous trip. It's my very first solo trip into the boundary waters. No matter if you've done it many times or if this is your first time, Sawbill Outfitters is a great place to get your experience. You can camp right here on the shore before you go in. They have campsites that are reservable and ones that are first come, first served. I will take you into the boundary waters tomorrow. Well, good morning. Just heading out, September 15th. It's about 7:15. You can see Sawbill Outfitters behind me. I've got all my gear ready to go. I was able to check out my canoe last night. After the summer, the hours shift to 7 p.m. and as long as you're in within the last 2 hours of the day, you can check out your canoe for the next day. So that was really handy. I was able to break up camp early in the morning and get ready to head out shortly after 7. That is beautiful view. Water at Sawbill Lake is quite a bit higher than last time we were here in June, maybe a foot or more. There's the canoe and my packs. Well, we're here. This is called Long Island Lake. And this campsite's a little bit hard to find. You have to kind of go around the corner to the right a little bit. But it's been a long day of paddling, coming up on 7:30 hours of paddling and foraging. So I'm ready to set up camp. This is a really nice camp. You can see it. There's plenty of wood here. Lots of spots and a big area. It's really beautiful here. The wind is kicking up. The wind is quite windy on Cherokee Lake, and I wasn't catching any fish, so I decided to keep pushing forward and make some more ground. All right, this is the campsite. These are some really nice tent pads here. This is probably where I'll set up my tent right here. Trees look pretty good. Hello, it's September 16th. I'm just leaving a campsite here at Long Island Lake in the Boundary Waters. It's a beautiful campsite. There was a chipmunk looking for my food. There's a really nice landing spot at this campsite. And I'm just going to take off and head to the east. This is the east end of Big Island Lake. And I've been paddling for about an hour. I thought I'd take a quick break and stretch my legs because I found this really nice campsite on this island. It's really beautiful. There's a nice landing spot. Looks like there's a couple trees here that have fallen right by the landing spot. There might be another landing spot, but it looked really nice from the boat. It's on the point of an island. and really has some great southern views and a really nice high up view of the lake almost all the way around. Some nice rocky spots to sit, and a little bit of roots here and there, but a lot of spots where it looks like you could put a tent. Nice. It's got to be about the worst mucky portage ever. You can't go through this way, and this way it's filled with rocks because the lake is about a foot too high, and then just muck all the way to there. So it's a tough one. Well, hello. I got up pretty early this morning. I was on Winchell Lake at about 3:30. I broke camp, got up at 2:30, broke camp. Maybe it was 3:45 when I was on the lake. It was pretty dark, navigating by stars a little bit, and sun, and not the sun, but the moon, and the reflection on the moon crescent. Pretty dark. I was able to kind of judge the tree line and figure out where my first portage would be, and figured that out. Got to the next lake and got really lucky finding the portage. Just spotted a dark area in the trees and paddled a little closer, and that was it. And then after this long portage, about 147 rods, I'm now in the Cone Lakes, and it's not even 8 o'clock. I'm starting to get hungry, so I hope I catch some fish. It's really beautiful. Ask for it any better. Did get some showers last night, but it was really only for like 5 minutes, so shouldn't really count. Portages have been tough this trip, but I didn't cry or anything, so I think they were fine. been 6 hours of paddling and portaging, and I made it here to, I think it's called Cone Lake, or one of the Cone Lakes. It's the one that has the campsite on it. It's a pretty nice campsite. A little rocky. I haven't looked at all of it yet, but it's got a nice view of the water. I was hoping to be able to cook a fish here and then maybe press on to Brule and camp there before the wind picks up. Or maybe I'll eat a little lunch and do that anyway. There is a huge tree in the middle of this peninsula. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you can get an idea of the magnitude of the size of that tree. You can see it from a long ways. Oh, that thing is huge. Yeah, it's a pretty big tree. Alright, we'll see you later. I'll probably turn this on when I get into Brule, or I think it's called South Temperance is where I'd like to get to, either probably by tomorrow or later today. This is Brule. It's partly cloudy. It doesn't look like it's going to storm. The winds are probably going to pick up in the next couple hours. So now is my best shot to get across along the shore of Brule Lake. It's really beautiful. It's tons of islands and landscape as you paddle through. Well, it's about 10 afternoon and I'm off Brule. It was quite a paddle to get all the way across. The winds were starting to pick up, and it's calm. It's calm in the bay here, really calm now. But it's a big lake to get across, for sure. I can show you on the map. And then now the next lake is South Temperance Lake, and there's a portage here. I think it's only 15 rods. Looks like drop some elevation. Catch the first fish. I put one of Mike's flies down, and almost right away I caught a northern. It's pretty small. I don't think I'm gonna eat it, but yeah, at least I caught one fish. I'm gonna take it off and I'll take a picture with my camera. Well, after catching that fish in the South Temperance Lake, my luck sort of ran out. Snagged a line, lost the lure, and out of the 4 campsites on South Temperance Lake, they were all full. My plan was to do the 240 and the 80 tomorrow morning. Well, it's done. It's 4 o'clock now. I've been paddling and portaging for 12 and a half hours. There is supposedly an open campsite in this lake. If not, in 16 rods there's 2 more. And so I'm hoping one of those is going to be open. And then we'll look forward to some easy camping days, as I won't have to do as many miles to get back out. We covered a lot of ground today. Left this morning from Winchell Lake into Cliff Lake, through all 3 Cone Lakes, across Brule Lake, through South Temperance Lake, and there's a campsite here just before rapids, where there's a 12 rod portage, and then it's Jack Lake and Kelly Lake before the last portage into the Fire Lakes. This campsite's not great, but I'm sure glad that it's here. I guess that was a satellite telling my family that I'm here at this site for the night. I'm glad it's here. I'm glad we haven't had any rain, but it's been a long 12 and a half hours of travel. So I'm ready for some rest, camping rest. The thing about this campsite is there's only a couple of spots you can put your tent that's even flat. This would have been flat, but a tree fell on it. Another tree fell over there. That was a flat area. Another tree. A couple other trees fell over here. So I gotta find a flat area that doesn't look like a dead tree's gonna fall on it. It's Thursday morning, overcast, getting some coffee going. This campsite ended up not being so bad. Up on top of the hill there's a flat spot where my tent is at, and there's a bunch of other flat spots up there. But otherwise, yeah, not that great of a campsite. Looking forward to getting to the fire lakes, smoke and flame. I was looking at this morning. I was going to swim here yesterday and I decided not to because there's a bit of current and I didn't want to swim, but now that I see that there's a rock there, it would be easy to step out and float by that rock. But that's one thing to remember, everyone. If you're ever going to jump in the water and it looks like there's all kinds of room to jump in, be careful, because there's a big rock and you really can't see it unless the sun is shining right, or the sun isn't shining right. There's a big rock. If you dove in that direction, oh, that would be bad. So always be careful when you're going into the water. I'm going to be heading that way this morning, but I'm going to take my time and not be in a rush or a hurry. However, I would like to get to the other lake and spend a lot of time fishing there. There's the eagle flying. You just never know if it's going to start to rain, and it might be better to spend the time right here before the rain starts. Some fresh water. Leaving, it's about 10 after 10. It was a good rest after that long trip yesterday. Caught some fish on South Temperance Lake. One fish. Thought I'd stay there, but the campsites were all full, so I pushed on through a 240 rod portage and another 80 rod portage to bring me to this campsite. It's not the greatest campsite, but after looking at it, there was a nice tent pad at the top of the hill. But I had a restful 12 hours of sleep, or at least 12 hours in the tent. And off now to probably get to the end of Kelly Lake and then push across a last long portage, and then after that there'll only be like I think an 80 and 100 or a couple hundreds left to get to Sawbill. And I got all of Thursday, all of Friday, and a little Saturday to do that, so hoping to catch a lot of fish on the fire lakes. Jack Lake campsite. I think it's the southernmost campsite. There's a couple islands right off of the landing here. There's a nice spot to put your canoes out of the wind, and a little bit of a steep carry up to the top of the hill, but I wanted to show it to you because maybe someday I'll stop by here and camp. It's almost like a typical portage. But nice clear area up above, somewhat flat grassy spots, nice area for a campfire, and trails into the woods. And from what it looked like on this side, there's a rocky outcrop over here with some nice views too. And that right there is where I came out. And I thought for sure the other campsite was on the other shore, but I did not see it. I didn't see the entrance to it. Maybe it was on the other side. But this is pretty nice. Only one dead tree right here. Nice trails. I think there's a couple spots where you could put some tents. Definitely could do some hammock camping. There's some good sized trees around here. Run some lines. Another flat, somewhat flat area, and then back around. Yeah, this is pretty nice. Jack Lake campsite. I'm here at the south part of Kelly Lake, getting ready for my last really big portage. I think it's 230 maybe rods. I'm looking forward to getting this one done, and then I'll be at they call them the Flame Lakes. There's Burnt Lake, and then Flame Lake is a little one, and Burnt, Flame, and Smoke, and then I'm back to Sawbill. So I'm going to plan to stay on Burnt Lake. I've heard the fishing's good there. There's some campsites I've seen there. Hopefully it's not full. It is getting to be almost 1 o'clock, so if it's going to be full, then I might try to go to Flame Lake and check that site out. It's only got one campsite on it. If that's full, then I'll go to the last one, Smoke Lake. There's 3 or 4 sites on that. Hopefully between all of those I'll find one and maybe stay at a couple of those and then come back out on Saturday. In Burnt Lake, it's about 2:15. That portage took an hour and 20 minutes with one double back. I'm really hopeful that that island is going to be open for me to camp at. Site appears to be open. Don't see anybody, which is very, very nice. Island campsite at Burnt Lake. I've heard the fishing's good here. Paul and I stopped here for lunch last September and checked it out. It's an okay campsite. It's on an island, and I'm happy to see it. Looks like there's some areas for some tents. It's a great site. Hey there, checking out a campsite. This is on Burnt Lake. I'm just kind of going around and fishing this morning. It was about 9 o'clock, and right across that bay is a portage to a lake called Flame Lake, and I'm hoping that there's one campsite on that spot, but there's a portage to get to it, and I'm hoping with my fishing gear I can go over there and catch a bunch of fish and check out that campsite too. This one's kind of got a rocky landing. It's a big campsite in this opening of a peninsula. Looks like some trees have recently been taken down. They look too dangerous. But it's really nice because it's on this peninsula, and you can see parts of the lake almost all the way around. This came up on Burnt Lake right when I was making the landing to the portage over to Flame Lake. This is Flame Lake. There is one campsite on this lake, but you can't tell if somebody's on it or not unless you go around the corner. And so I brought just the stuff for fishing. It started raining just a little bit, but it's really just sprinkling. It's not really a downpour or anything. I'm prepared for that if I need to be, and I'm hoping to catch some fish, take them home to camp, and cook them up. But we'll see if I'm that lucky. Made it to the only campsite on Flame Lake. It's really nice site. Easy landing. Nice big campfire area. A little rocky and sticky, sticks, roots. It's pretty nice, but you have no way of knowing if somebody is here until you complete the portage and come the rest of the way over. I didn't catch any fish, so at this campsite I won't be cooking fish, nor will I be eating any of the food that I brought because I didn't bring any. But it's a pretty easy portage to get back to camp on the other lake, and it's about 20 to 12. There's another campsite that I stopped at. This is on Burnt Lake. I went back from Flame to Burnt Lake. Didn't catch any fish on Flame. I'm gonna go back to camp, get something to eat, maybe do some fishing. The sun came out. It did sprinkle a little bit this morning, but just enough to make all the grass wet, and that was it. So I wanted to check out this campsite. Had a nice grassy landing, so that was kind of nice. Campsite at the Burnt Lake, and I just wanted to show you there is a rocky outcrop that's more typical of the landings. You see that same campsite at Burnt Lake, there's a nice rocky point that comes out here. If you wanted to come out here and do some fishing, I don't know if that'd be a good thing or not. But you can get all the way out to the point. There's some rocks here, and right straight across I need to go to my campsite on the island site, Burnt Lake. Saturday, that's about 7 o'clock, tearing down camp. There's just one thing I wanted to show you. As I mentioned when I was reviewing this camp, I couldn't find a nice flat spot for a tent. But if you walk through this area over here, which is kind of to the left of the landing, there's a few rocks to walk through, but there's a clear path. And once you get to the point, which is where I came over to get the water, you can see there's a really nice flat spot. And then off to the point here